Alright everybody, Smokey McDavs here again. First episode of Direct Dang TV. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. Um, the first subject I'd like to cover today is synthetic K2 marijuana, aka spice. It had first appeared, a few years ago as a legal marijuana, as some would call it. It was provoked to imitate the effects of THC. So obviously it's not meant for smoking. Clearly it says it on the package, but the influence from society alone is enough to make a person smoke it. When I remember being up in Michigan and I got a call from one of my buddies and he said, "Oh, weed's legal in Florida now." And I said, "What?" I shot down there real quick and I saw what he had in the package, and I wasn't really skeptical because I was ignorant. That's the real key here. My ignorance, was a big thing back then. So I said fuck it, and I tried it. The first time I tried it, I don't know, it was just really bad. It was back when they had that substance called JWH in it, and it's got everything from JWH to HU210. The amount of chemicals that goes sprayed on this shit is, it's endless, because they change it every day and you never know what they're putting in it. It's very harmful stuff. I've ended up in the hospital over it, and people have died from it, in multiple states. And I can't exaggerate enough that, that smoking it is, you may not see the effects now, but I'll guarantee you'll see the effects down the road. It hits everybody one way or another. So, um, yeah, a lot of people, and I'm no one to judge. I was just as stupid, and back in the day, I just wanted to get high, so I really didn't care. Legal marijuana, hey, I was all over it. But that's just as what it was portrayed as at the time. Nobody really knew exactly at the time that it was harmful. Until they actually started doing the research, which I regret not doing before trying it. Um, a lot of people I see still, out there smoking it, and that's a big concern. It's got chemicals, like I said, JWH, HU210. Things of that nature. And just let me give you guys some advice. The only chemical you need in your life is fucking THC. Okay, that is the only damn thing you need in your life. You don't need this synthetic, dog shit in a bag type, stuff. That's and I don't want to hear the excuse, oh, I'm on probation and I got to get high, this and that. Hey, I did over 3 years probation, so I really know the ins and outs. So just a heads up, I've been through the ropes. Getting high is not worth risking your health. That's just plain and simple. If it is, then good luck to you in that, because that's not going to get you very far in life. I remember being in the hospital bed still today, wondering if I was going to die off this shit. And I still don't know if I'll, experience any long-term effects. So I just want to give everybody a fair warning on that. For the government to make this public, for people 18 to achieve is kind of scary when you think about it, especially since the rise of deaths that occurred so rapidly, once they started switching up chemicals. These people could be putting dog shit in a bag and you guys could be smoking it and wouldn't know it. That's just the facts we're looking at right now. You never know what's in these chemicals. It's based in a college lab somewhere in some state. I mean, like I said though, obviously it says on the package it's not for smoking consumption, but a lot of people will be influenced by, best friends or, family members to smoke it, and I advise you, really, I truly advise you to stay away from that. You could take one or two hits and, you never know what the effects could be. You could have brain tumors, lesions, seizures. I've seen people spaz out on it. You could lose your breathing. There's just so many things that, because each chemical in it does a different thing to somebody. You got all these chemicals being inhaled at once, so your body's trying to figure out, it confuses the brain, it confuses the heart. It's a very bad drug, and it's something that needs to be addressed, I feel. Even if it's through social media, people don't really understand, the effects of it. I mean, yes, I know they have put a ban on it in some states, but I still see a lot of people smoking it, which is a shame too, because I used to be that guy, and you know, back in the day, I was ignorant, so I mean, I didn't know what was in the drug. You know, all I was told was it was legal marijuana by a friend, and obviously, looking at the shit, you can tell it's not legal marijuana. But hey, I mean, you know, that doesn't stop you from smoking it at the time. So I mean, there's been a lot of bad cases where I would smoke it and like just just not feel right in general, anxiety attacks, anger issues, depression. I mean, the list goes on. I mean, the Drug Enforcement Administration announced it would use emergency powers to ban many synthetic cannabinoids within a month, but we have yet to see full power taken on this subject. So I mean, hopefully they really crack down on shops that are selling this. um, the fact that a synthetic drug that kills people is legal and marijuana is still legal is kind of mind-blowing to me. I mean, they might as well be putting crack out there. I mean, look, we even had a few cases where people were buying bath salts and, eating people's faces off, and the government had allowed that to go out. I mean, come on now. I mean, it's you should just put a plant out there that helps people, and not only will you create tax money, but it'll save a lot of lives more than damaging them. I know people who have had their lives ruined over this shit. Some people, it literally can shut down parts of your brain. So you may not be able to talk anymore. You may not be able to hear, see. You could go blind from it. Um, a lot of people, come in with that fuck it, I'm gonna do whatever I want attitude, and hey, I used to be that guy, so trust me when I say it's not the right attitude to go for, especially when it's something that's when you're putting your life in jeopardy. It's not worth it. There's no coming back from death. You don't just wake up the next day. I mean, so to possibly end your life over a synthetic drug that the government put out, I mean, you know, just think about it. I mean, a lot of people don't have a choice. Some of you say you can't get marijuana. Some say you're on probation. My advice, hey, just fuck it. Don't get high then. If you can't use THC or can't smoke pot, then don't bother putting the government's chemicals in you, because you're only gonna hurt yourself in the end. You know. So I mean, that's just my outlook on it. There's a couple people that were asking me too. You know, how much I would smoke and things like that. Let me tell you, I smoked that shit like a motherfucking fiend when I first started, because I was unfucking sure of, the chemicals in it. I was young, dumb, it was a few years back, and eventually it put me in the hospital, and that's when I said, I woke up out of my little dream state, and I said, hey, I need to wake up and look into this shit. Did some research on it and saw the effects, the domino effect it started to have on people. It's a shame too, because I could have died from this shit, and I know a lot of people who possibly could too. Long-term effects are still yet to be discovered, because it only popped up a few years ago. I mean, you never know. Some of this shit could affect you 5 years from now, 10 years from now. You don't want to wake up one day and like have blood leaking out your nose or some shit. I mean, a lot of the people I know also who smoked it, including myself, once they stopped, not only did they feel better after letting their bodies detox, but they would cough up really dark shit from your lungs. I don't know what you want to call it, mucus or whatever it is. And that just goes to show you the shit it does. I mean, whether it's tar or who knows what it could be. So I mean, everybody has their opinions on it, but I'm just here to give mine. It's a very bad drug. I advise everyone to stay away from it. Go out, get a big fucking bong, get a fat sack of weed, pack the bong and do a hit, and be happy with that. You don't need to go out and do all this crazy shit to impress your friends and eventually put your life at risk, because not only do you destroy yourself, but you destroy the people around you, your family and friends. So you have to think about that. I mean, every puff you take of that could be potentially risking your life. So that's just my rundown on it. I appreciate everyone for tuning in to the first official episode of Direct Dank TV. Sorry. A lot of more videos coming. I'll be discussing probably, I'm thinking either hemp or the ending of prohibition and the effects it'll have on us tomorrow or in the coming days. So expect more videos from me. Feel free to share and feel free to subscribe. I appreciate everyone's attention and coming in on this. Thank you very much. Smokey McDabs out.